So we're looking at question 5. The vertex of this equation is one of the following. So how do I find the vertex? Well, one of the ways, because it's in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c, we can use the equation x at the minimum at the vertex, x equals minus b over 2a. So what is that? X is equal to minus, positive 6 over 2 times a, which is minus 3. Now, what do we end up getting? That becomes positive. X equals 6 over 2 times 3 is 6. X becomes 1. So at the vertex, x is 1, not negative 1. So I know this is not the correct answer, and that's not the correct answer. So we have x. Now what do? We just substitute x for 1 in this equation, find y, and we know the full vertex of the parabola. So let's do that. At x equal 1, y equals, we have minus 3 x squared plus 6 times, we'll just write 1 in there, minus 2. So what does that equal to? Y equals minus 3. 1 square is 1, plus 6 times 1 is 6, minus 2 just comes down. And what's that equal to? Minus 3 plus, let's just solve this now, plus 4. And what are we at now? Y equals 1. So guess what? Y equals 1, not minus 2. So the answer here is B. The vertex is 1, 1. Okay, let's do question 6. Question 6 works in the following way. It says given f at x equals some parabola or quadratic in standard form, if f at a equals 1, what is the value of a? Okay, so what's that saying? That's saying that f at a equals 1. That means 1 equals, so basically it's saying y is equal to 1. So you could just write, that's like y. You're saying y is equal to 1. And we'll just say x takes on the value of a. We're going to solve for it. So what does that mean? 1 is equal to a squared minus 6a plus 10. Right? So it basically, this line says there's a value a1. They give you y. What is x? Right? So we substitute x equals a and y equals 1. Simple as that. It's pretty straightforward. So now we have an equation to solve. We have a, one variable. We put 1 to the other side. What do we get? Well, we get 0 equals a squared minus 6a plus 10 minus 1. What do we end up with? We end up with 0 equals a squared minus 6a plus 9. Now this you must recognize as a perfect square. This is a squared, this is 3 squared, or we could say, so you can recognize that as a perfect square. We're going to end up getting, this is an opportunity to skip a step, okay? This is an opportunity to skip a step. Basically, what you can know off the bat, because this is you recognize this as a perfect square, that this is a minus 3 squared. But we're going to get to this. If you don't want to skip a step, you ask yourself, what two numbers multiply to 9 and add to 6 or minus 6? Sum, multiply. That's not proper. Basically, sum to 6 and add up to and multiply it to minus 9. And the answer is negative 3 and negative 3, right? If I multiply them, I get 9, but if I add them, I get minus 6. So you can factor this. A minus 3, A minus 3. And what is that equal to? That's equal to A minus 3 squared, right? Which is what I got here. But all you had to do was recognize that it's in fact a perfect square, and you can skip all that factoring. It's an opportunity to skip steps. You should never miss an opportunity to skip a step in math. But I went and I showed you how to do it without skipping, but the opportunity is to recognize this as a perfect square, in which case you can just write it in this form. Okay, moving on. Square root of both sides. 0 equals A minus 3, which means 0, I move the 3 to the other side, A equals 3. Oops, I already wrote that down. A equals 3. So what is the value of A? The answer is 3.